I am a winner. I occupy, making a mark in this world. It's worth the drive. A sword of truth, a church of life. It's a privilege to serve for the one who died, leading generation, empowering a nation. A place where winners worship. Sword of truth.
Hey guys, how are you? I was just enjoying the music. Got a couple of questions for you. Have you ever asked the question or wondered if there was some type of tool, something that you guys could use, you and your spouse, to take your marriage from being good to great? Or have you ever wondered, was there a platform that had real, raw, and relevant conversations from things such as communication all the way to how to deal with infidelity? Or you may be engaged and you want something that you and your fiance can do before you say I do. Well, I got news for you. My wife, Trina, and I have close to 30 years of experience that we want to add to you. That's right. Here's what I need you to do. Email us. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. You email us and you let us know that you're interested in our 10-week marriage enrichment program. 10 weeks. You take 10 weeks, an evening, an afternoon. Instead of having Netflix and chill, maybe just grab a hold of this program and you and your spouse, you and your fiance can begin to develop this wonderful covenant called marriage. I'm looking forward to hearing from you now. Now make sure, email us, let us know you're interested, and we'll get you hooked in. It's a love thing, and we want to help that love thing bloom for you. All right. Well, good. God bless you. Great. God bless you. And all the other accolade. God bless you. We are live and in color, and it is our TNT Tuesday night Bible study. And we are uber excited to be here with you. And uberly excited to be here with you. I'm gonna just move a little bit so I can get close to you, if you don't mind. I'll put my right there. There we go. I didn't think about that while we were off camera, but now that I did it. Okay, well, yeah. So we're certainly excited to be here with you guys again tonight. It is our Q&A night, but before we get into the Q&A, because we want to answer some questions from last week that we missed, and of course we'll take any of the questions that you have going on today. We want to talk a little bit about what's happening with us right now. Mr. Phipps, God bless you, sir. Good to have you on. We're going to talk to a couple of what we call the original 13. Now, what do you mean by that? The original 13 are the first 13 members that joined the Sword of Truth 13 years ago. So May 13th, 13 years ago, 13 members joined the Sword of Truth. It's just kind of, I thought it was a great deal or a big deal. At least I felt it was a big deal. And so we're going to hear from a few of the 13. Some of them were unable because of work. Some of them are no longer with us. God bless them. But we want to hear from them and kind of talk a bit about the testimony and those kind of things. Of course, my wife and I are part of the 13. We are a part of the 13 by default. And I'm going to bring on 3 who were also a part of the 13. I really feel like 2 of them was by default, kind of like my daughter was. But as they grew up, they didn't have to have the default piece on there. They decided to stick around. And so let me bring up the one who first and foremost made the decision that they were joining. Elder Antoinette. Let's see. You probably got to put your video on. I see your name, but I don't see your face. There you go. All right. And your mic is unmuted on my end. Make sure it's unmuted on your end.
I think it's frozen. The video is frozen.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Yeah. Well, she's frozen right now. We'll get her unfrozen in a moment. We'll get her thawed out. But she was, unfrozen, right? Thawed out. So she was one of our original 13. And then she ended up bringing into play 2 others. Actually, it was 3 others at that point. I'll go from the oldest to the youngest. So we have Miss Delana Pinky. Hey, girlie.
Hello, everyone. Hey.
Hello.
Good to see you. And
good to see y'all too.
Yeah, knee baby, I guess. Or one other. You and Mike would end up being knee babies, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
So we got an older and a younger.
Technically. Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we got the 2 knee babies tonight. Knee baby number 2. How are you, sir?
He's muted.
Yeah, you got to unmute yourself.
I'm straight for the most part. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you now. We can hear you now. He said he's straight. So you guys, do me a favor, and those of you that are watching, first and foremost, check in and let us know that you're watching. I'm so grateful for Mr. Phipps. He and I served in Wallace Elementary School this year. He was the guidance counselor, and I was principal there. And so thank you, Mr. Phipps, for joining. Anyone else that's there, won't you just check in, let us know that you're here so that you can, just speak and be a part of the conversation. I think your mom ended up having a few phone issues, so she's going to probably get back in. So it's been 13 years, right? And maybe it's probably good that mama ain't on, that way y'all can talk like you want to talk. 13 years ago, May 13th, so of course that was a couple of weeks ago, about a week or so ago, we're in this media center at Wallace Elementary Bennettsville Middle School. And y'all are, younger then. I can't remember how old you were, but everybody was kind of like inch high private eyes. Tell me, one, what were you thinking back then? And then kind of walk me through what has transpired with you for the 13 years you have been a part. Oh, they're popping in now. Look at that. Hold on. Let's speak to a few folk. Arcanette is one of the original 13. I was trying to get her on tonight. Couldn't get her on. We got Naya. Hey, Naya.
Hi, Naya.
Deacon Natasha. Hey, girlie.
Hello.
NSC.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, now. We can hear you and see you now, Antoinette. Aunt Debbie, she's with us, and Elder Ida. All right. So
I'm up.
Yeah, we can hear you. Since you're in now, I'll let you go first since you're the mama. And then they can kind of pick up on the back end. What I was saying was 13 years ago, we're standing in this media center in Bennettsville Middle School, and I make a clarion call to anyone that'd like to join our church, join. I had no money. I had no building. I mean, I could preach a little bit. I wasn't the best preacher. And you decided to join. So tell me what went through your mind then, and kind of walk me through your journey from then to now.
I think she's frozen again.
Oh, I thought
God bless that internet and Clio, Lord.
I'm saying that is some internet down there, isn't it?
So that means when she comes back on, you just got to get her straight on. No,
no intro,
nothing, no intro.
All right, so Delana, it's on you.
Okay.
Yeah, Delana's on you because it's Wi-Fi trash.
Okay, hello everyone. If I had to talk about my journey, I think I was like around maybe 13 or 14. And so at that age you really don't have a choice. Is you go because your mama say you gonna go, because your parents say you gonna go. And I think at that point I was doing a little bit of everything. I was ushering and doing praise and worship, and I think when you're younger, well, for me it was, hey Kiana, for me it was more like it felt like a chore, honestly, if I'm being honest. Like, because I didn't really develop that relationship with God yet. So I was being obedient, basically. But as I began to get older, being a part of the ministry in song, it really helped grow and develop my relationship. So if I had to sum up my journey throughout this 13 years, is growth. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm definitely not where I was. Because I was in church ever since I was a child. You go through stuff in church too. You don't always do everything right. And I didn't do everything right. I made mistakes, but I thank God for having leaders such as you guys, because you never killed me in those mistakes. And even when you found out what those mistakes were, you whipped me. Sometimes first lady more than other, but I appreciate it now, and it helped me become the person that I am today. So I thank you all for that.
You're welcome, and anytime you need another one, I got you.
Preferably, you won't need another one. All right, now he's buckling. Yeah, we got to help. We got to help Clio. Internet for Clio. Internet for Clio. We're gonna start a campaign in Jesus' name. So while he's buffering and while your mom's trying to get unthawed, when did it kind of change for you that it moved from being a chore to being something that you actually wanted to do, or has it changed? Let me make sure.
Yeah. So I think for me, I always liked to sing, but I think when you all forced me, Bishop, when you forced me to have to break out of my shell, I think I developed a love for God. And I think, from me having to sing every Sunday, I think that transformed my chore into, the love for God. Because once, when you go through certain situations, then you get to a point where you need God. And so that chore, it no longer it's no longer a chore anymore. It's the thing that helps me connect with who I need. So
That's good, Rhea. That's really, really good. You got a question for me?
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you, Delana.
Thank you.
I am too. I really am. You've taken a real strong leadership stand.
Yeah, think about it. Over 13 years, you've gone from at SOT being a teenager, to now somebody's wife and a mama. So definitely growth and change and maturity.
Mm-hmm. And not just somebody's mom. I mean, you're talking church admin, singing on the leadership team, working in a strong leadership capacity. Just so many different things that you currently do that, I mean, it's just amazing what God has done over time.
An author,
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yes.
And a business owner. So you own a business, you've written books, and you're just doing the thing. Have you ever just stopped and thought about all the stuff that you've done?
Honestly, no, not really.
See, and now you're the designated disciple of the discipleship or the
deficit developer. Stop playing me.
Good. What is it now?
I am the deficit developer, okay?
The vessel. Yeah. Yes. That's what I said.
Yeah,
You're doing it.
I love it. No, I absolutely love it. I think we got her unthawed. Is she unthawed?
Yeah.
I'm unthawed.
All right.
All right, no intro. We got to get straight to it.
Yeah. So hopefully you heard what I said earlier.
Woo!
Just go for it.
In the car. I had to get on the car Wi-Fi.
I understand. I understand. So your 13-year journey from that first year on up to now.
My God. So on May 13th, 2007, I went to church in the library, and I did not know that the church doors would be open that day. But after getting permission, Darren and I, from Bishop Young, to be able to be a part of what was the Sword of Truth Outreach Ministries at the time, I knew whenever the doors were going to be open, that my family and I was going to be committed. I joined because my heart's desire was always to follow godly leaders. The Bible says that God will give you a man after his own heart. And that's what I saw in you and Lady Brown, people that loved the Lord and people that I knew was going to love God's people. And so joining wasn't something I had to contemplate about, wasn't something that I had to pray about. It was just a done deal. So it was a very exciting time for me and my family. My children are all now grown adults, college graduates, doing well, I think. And that's a tribute to the Sword of Truth. I was just told back that I'm finding out that I'm so old. But even there were so many things I didn't figure out. The Sword of Truth had me to be the adult that I am today. I'm not perfect, but I'm certainly purposed. And Sword of Truth has helped me to find my purpose. Sword of Truth has rooted and grounded me. When I came to the Sword of Truth, hell, fire, and type of person, and sort of to love me, taught me to love.
Yeah, so now your car Wi-Fi is messing up. your car.
You might need to drive outside of Clio.
Yeah, y'all need to take a drive. Y'all need to get out of Clio and grab some city Wi-Fi. Because CL10 is just not giving y'all what you need at all. Oh, yep. She had to pop in and out. Mike, you there?
Mike froze.
Mike froze too. Oh no,
He's unthawed.
oh you unthawed. All right, Mike, your turn.
He's frozen.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Say it again.
We can hear you.
Oh, that's a blessing. What was the question or whatever?
Your 13-year journey, from that first day up to now.
It has been
Question.
It's been a blessing because of the growth. I feel like as a member, I had to grow. The more that the ministry was growing, it's it'll be kind of hard to see grass grow all around you that's tied to the same roots and you don't grow with it. it'd be like a dead spot. So I grew along with the ministry, and in myself, it helped me become who I am in the 13 years. Even though growing up in it, I ministry wise, great, but I didn't personally, because I was in sports, and because of my role in the ministry and parenting, it kept me from a lot good things and bad things, I guess. Like practices, games, camps.
Sound like you feel a little bitter, Mike.
I was. That was the growing up part. That was the growing up part. That was the growing up part. I'm talking about. I was like, this is why do I gotta do that? But because of my role, I didn't have a choice. But because of that role, it kept me from some things that others had to deal with. So it was like I was hidden while they were going through things because of the ministry. So it did help me a lot.
Look like you got an amen.
I know, Zion. I know. Don't got a choice.
Let's talk about what I'm growing.
In Jesus' name. That's a heart, all of it. So I think we got to get back unfrozen. Are we ready?
Mm-mm.
Wow. So what we're gonna do for Elder Antoinette, we're gonna bring her back on Saturday. So but you're gonna have to be like someplace. She can't be in Clio. You just can't be. You can. Oh, you're unfrozen. I think I saw you move. Yeah, I saw her move again. But her moving might be, you still
robotic.
You're still frozen. You're not quite all there.
I'm not frozen.
Well, go ahead then.
It's not gonna work. Look. And then she's frozen with her mouth open.
When she says she's not frozen. So I appreciate you guys for coming on. I would really like for you to take a moment and think through some thoughts for Saturday. And if it's nothing but a whole group conversation, we do a little, I don't know, trip down memory lane kind of deal, and then we play it for Saturday or air it during the week or something like that. I think it'll be good just to hear from some of you, especially that raw truth. We attempt to always give the raw truth. And Mike, of course, I knew he was going to say what he was going to say, but I think it speaks to the generation and gives an understanding even to the younger ones who may feel like that now. I mean, like my daughter, who feels the way Mike felt then, but then in his retrospect, understanding that it helped him grow, as well as, just kept him from some things that other kids his age are not going through. He's light years ahead, and Delana, light years ahead of some of their contemporaries, because they stayed connected to ministry and connected to church. And thank God for a mom who, beat you side of the head, and a bishop and a first lady who wasn't going to let you do foolishness. So I appreciate you guys, and we're going to let you go, and we'll connect back with you a little later. All right.
Hold on. You said something about the testimony.
Oh, okay. We'll testify. We'll testify.
Well, it's not. Well, this is how I wrote it down. I said, I do feel like, it's a testimony to be living and still alive and well and safe and everything. But I do feel like my greatest testimony has yet to come. I feel like the ministry is helping me and molding me to be ready for what's to come. So I don't feel like my testimony is what some of the original 13 testimonies have been or was. So mine is coming. Just wait on it.
It's coming in Jesus' name, sir. I believe it and receive it. I believe it and receive it. All right. Well, thank you, son. We'll be talking to you later. Delaney, you got a closing testimony that you'd like to share before you go?
And you're not frozen. We see your eyes blinking. You have to share. You have to unmute.
She might not be able to hear. About
As great grandma would say something, Lane.
Making herself her speaker, so she can be able to speak. So no worries. We're good. So we'll go forward with the rest of tonight. And again, thank you, young man. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
No problem.
Really. Is you ready now? Do you have some internet service?
No.
I do.
You'd have been all over the place trying to get you some internet.
God make a way?
Won't he?
Yeah, won't he make a way?
Won't he do
Jesus.
it? So you get a chance to finish the testimony.
Okay, so what I was saying is, from age 33 to now, the Sword of Truth has taught me how to be a good daughter, be a good mama, be a good sister, be a good employee. I've learned textbook.
I knew it was going to happen. I knew it.
Material through the church about how.
Let me tell Mike to put his mom in the room with him.
Yeah, let Mike
properly deal with conflict, and because I'm not deal with conflict and
All right, guys. I kind of felt like she was on the way out just because of that internet piece. And so that was kind of our testimonial side. Dr. Phipps, I appreciate you, sir. I absolutely love you as well. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, sir. I do. Yeah, we know she didn't realize she was breaking up. So we're going to get her testimony recorded just in case on Saturday she still has to be in Clio, but we can upload it and she'll have a chance to because I'm telling you guys, she has a testimony that I think would bless many people just with some of the things that she's gone through on her own. Now it's Q&A time. And so I want you to get your questions together, get your questions ready. I have a question or two from last week that came in that I'm going to read. And so if you don't have one out there that you don't want to ask like in the public, you can inbox my wife or I, probably more my wife than me, so that we can look at it and say it and read it. If you don't mind asking the question right there in the live chat, we'll answer it there. But from last week, we had a question from Adriana Denise Johnson. She put it in the live feed, so that's why I said her name. And if she's not watching live, if somebody will try to tag her to let her know I'm getting ready to answer a question, if she's not already on, Adriana Denise Johnson. Her question was, how do you suggest that people deal with self-judgment? How do you suggest that people deal with self-judgment? And, when I heard that, when I read the question, and I kind of thought about it for a moment, I was thinking how difficult it is whenever we do things that we feel are not pleasing to God. and how it can kind of capture our mental state, our mentality, and hold us hostage in certain states, in certain situations, state of being, and situations that God never does. Once we say, Lord, forgive me, right? When we say, Lord, forgive me, and ask him to forgive us, the Bible says that he is faithful to forgive. He's faithful to forgive, right? And that he will forgive you. So for God, he's done with it. You said, Lord, forgive me. You repented, metaneo, you turned. You turned away from what you were doing, going towards a better way of living. At that moment, God says, I'm good. It's over. Then we have to deal with our own thoughts and our own mentality, because usually we ascribe human personalities to God. Remember, God is not a man that he should lie. Neither is he the son of man that he should repent. So how we feel about things is not how he feels about things. He said, my thoughts are as high as, so that means, yeah, I'm thinking higher than that. You're kind of down here, but I'm thinking a lot higher than that. And when we put our humanistic, when we superimpose our feelings upon God, we think God is still holding us hostage. And so a part of our self-judgment is linked in to thinking that God is still holding it. And because God is holding it against us, we're going to hold it against ourselves. And since we're going to hold it against ourselves, we begin to self-judge ourselves, if you want to use it like that, and then end up self-sabotaging our own deliverance. There's many people who could literally be walking in deliverance right now. I mean, they could be free from generational curses, free from sin, free from the issue, but it's difficult for them to be free from the issue because they are in a self-sabotaging mode, because again, they won't forgive themselves. Yes. God has already forgiven. We've not forgiven ourselves. So then the work begins with us releasing what we went through, releasing what we feel, and walking forward into the newness of life. And so my suggestion is, instead of continuing to speak of yourself in terms of, what you did. I'm the woman with the issue of blood. I'm the man that failed horribly. I'm the one who got divorced. Instead of speaking of yourself in terms of what you did, speak of yourself in terms of what he says. God, what God says. So God says that you're fearfully, wonderfully made. God says that I forgive you. God says that you are a royal priesthood, you see? And so then if I begin speaking of myself, what my Father says of me, then it'll begin to change my self-defecation, that I won't just continue to doo-doo on me. I can get rid of all of that, or use it for fertilizer so that I can go forward. So yeah, don't, if you've asked God to forgive you, let it go. Frozen. Get on that Frozen song. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Hopefully I answered that. I don't know if I did or not, but if you need more, inbox us and we'll try to give you more. You got a question?
I do.
All right.
How do you connect with a person who is set in their ways? They're friendly, but not so friendly. It's like they pick and choose who to talk to. They're Christians. If you all go to the same church and have to do the same things, then especially if you go to the same church and you have to do some of the same assignments together, but they pick and choose who they want to talk to, and just want to know, how do you connect with people like that?
You don't necessarily have to connect to them. Here's what the Bible says: love your neighbor, love them, but you don't have to have a picnic with them. I don't have to invite people to my house. I don't have to invite anybody to my table. You didn't have to come to my party. No, you didn't get an invitation because I didn't want to give you an invitation. It doesn't matter if you're a part of my church or not. You're part of my church and the larger church body, the house of God, as well as the church house. But I can choose who has the opportunity to come in closer quarters with me. And so I don't have to fight to have someone who is part-time to be in my life. I don't think anybody wants part-time people anyway. I mean, I'm a full-time person, and I don't want to give full-time love to part-time people. And so then I decide to give my full-time love to full-time people. That means people who now let me back up and say, I'm not talking about people who just do what I want and do what I say. That's not a friend, that's a flunky. I'm talking about real friends who challenge me to be better, who won't let me get away with dumb stuff, who celebrates me when I'm winning, and who stands beside me when I'm losing. That's called full-time. And so then full-time people get my full-time love. Part-time people get my part-time love. We cool while we're here. I'm going to love you and be cordial with you while we're worshiping. I'm going to love on you. I don't want you to go through anything. If you need something, I'll get something there to you if I can. But as far as my intimate space, no. They don't have to be in your intimate space. It's about like Fantasia. If you don't want me, then don't talk to me. Go ahead and free yourself. You ain't got to tolerate me. There's some people who will celebrate me. And you just kind of go on about your business.
Okay, so can you walk them through a situation, for example, I guess if we're in the same space and say, for example, a person comes in and they even speak to everyone else, but they avoid speaking to you.
Yeah, I will speak to them. Again, I can't account for what comes out of other people. That's sort of truth, colloquialism. That's like golden. Make sure you grab that question there. That's a golden deal. You cannot account for what comes out of other people. You can account for what comes up out of you.
That's right.
And so then if they don't speak, so what? I'm still going to speak. See, their speaking doesn't solicit mine. That would mean that my love and who I am in God is predicated upon them. And if who I am in God and my love is predicated upon them, then that means I'm always going to be up and down. I'm always going to be a roller coaster. So whether they're hot or cold, I stay hot, right? And when they're cold, I'm still hot. When they're hot, I'm still hot. I don't change because they've changed. I remain the same. Now, if I vacillate when they vacillate, then I become the exact same thing that they are, hypocritical. And I don't want to be hypocritical. I really want to be as real as possible. And so they don't have to speak. You speak. And if they don't speak back, that's on them. See, then God holds them responsible for their being evil or mean, not you. It won't hurt you at all to speak. It won't hurt you at all to love on them. It'll hurt them when you do it, especially if they're just being nasty. It'll break their heart and break their spirit. Not heart like, oh, you broke my heart. I mean, it'll break their spirit and break that spirit that's on them to do better. Love will do two things. It'll actually draw people closer to you or run them away.
Yeah.
Both ways you win. Dr. Joe, as a businessman, pastor, etc., how do you balance family, travel, and business? Joe, Lord have mercy. That question is so loaded.
It is.
that's a loaded one, sir. You want to jump at it first?
No, it says, how do you, Bishop?
Oh, me? Oh, so okay.
Now, one thing I can say is, even in some of that, as far as the balance piece, I can't leave everything up to him to figure out how to balance. And that's because, like you said, Joe, his schedule is just crazy sometimes. So there are even times when, Dominica would come to me and we would say, hey, he's gone such and such this week. Block out this week right here because we need to make intentional time. Make it intentional that we have some family time. You have to be intentional about it, just as intentional as we are about, making sure that we're on time for a meeting. If we see that it's just been too much time pulled away, be it ministry or whatever it is. And let me say this, I don't make it difficult for him to still do what he likes to do. So if there are times when he chooses ministry, and that is perfectly fine. There are times when he chooses me. There are times when he chooses CJ. There's times when he chooses Zion. There are just times whenever it is, and he teaches this. As long as we keep God in the center, then everything else, there's sometimes when, different things will come first. But I don't even know if the word balance is even fair. Because to me, if there's a balance, it's almost an equal share of everything. And it's never going to be equal. It's never equal.
That's good.
Even in relationships, a lot of times we talk about balance and being 50-50. It's never 50-50. There's sometimes when I'm 99 and he's 1. There's sometimes when he's 1 and I'm 99. There's sometimes when we're 49, 51. It's never equal. But the thing is, even though it's not equal, everything that we do is intentional. So as far as ministry, I figure our part, if we want to use the word balance, is I make it free. I make him free enough as to where he goes and he does ministry the way that he sees fit to do ministry. And I don't bring it up in his face that, oh, well, you chose church. No, I don't think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, I've never just told him, no, you can't do that, because no, I would never do that. But there are some times when I know he's such a go-getter that our schedule, where he said, well, something came up on my schedule Friday. I don't have anything for Friday. You should do, because I play in the weekend. I play in the weekend. So when you get home, you pack your bag, because we're going to the beach. So there are times when I see that even though he's not going to schedule rest, that I schedule rest for us. So he'll go, down and just look at the water, because that's what he likes to do. And then that's our time. And when you're a man that is so busy, there are oftentimes where you have to take into the consideration of quality versus quantity.
That's good.
So there are times when we spend 2 days together and it seems like 2 weeks. So we don't count it as this is how many days we've spent. It's this much time, and we make this time count. We've gone through, and I know you've heard Bishop's testimony through this quarantine and what's been happening, but I promise you, our quality time has been so worth it. Just being able, and sometimes you don't know how much quality time you need until you're forced to do it. So, making sure that they're included in some of the things that you're doing whenever you're so on the go and so busy. I would just say, making it kind of like a family thing. I think that's one of the benefits of us doing on Sunday morning. We have one person doing this and somebody else coming up and doing it. It's like more like a family thing. It's not just the fact of he has to get it done, but finding a way to incorporate everyone in it. And there are times when we can't, everyone can't participate in it, but it doesn't feel like they're put on the back burner. So I would say it's more intentional and not just, balance. Because anytime we think about balance, we think about a fair share across the board. And it's hard just to give a fair share.
Yeah.
But that's just my take on it.
No, I mean, I think that you answered that perfectly. Everything I was kind of thinking to say, I think you kind of said it.
But it can't all land on one person. Mm-mm. Especially if that person is really busy. It takes 2 people. Yeah. So if you see that I'm busy, well, help me. Mm-hmm. You might help me. Mm-hmm. You help me slow down a little. Mm-hmm. And one time I made him slow all the way down. I repented, but I made him slow all the way down. I was telling everybody, no, we can't come this week. He busy. Nope, can't come that week. Nope, we busy. You just went last week. No, he busy. And I was fired. So, yeah,
that's when I had her as my administrator, and I wasn't preaching nowhere at all. I mean, I thought maybe I did something wrong. I had to do anything wrong. This thing right here, this one lady right here, she was telling everybody I can't come. Yeah, see, he said that's good. He said that's the first time he heard you speak. Yeah, listen, Joe, this girl's a wealth of knowledge, always been. She just, I don't know, COVID-19 brought her out. She just burst open like a cocoon. She's a butterfly flapping her wings. That thing she said, I thought was just so powerful. Somebody said, but the thing I love, the bishop will concede to you.
He does.
I do. I do concede. It's better to have a happy wife, happy life. But when it comes to assignment, my wife knows the drive I have for assignment. So usually there's not much said, if anything at all, during that time. Now, because I attempt to be more conscientious of the fact that I ain't got but one family. Everybody else, they'll love you and leave you. The people that's going to be here forever is the folk that's here. And so I have to consider that, and I don't want my children ever growing up hating the God that I'm serving.
Yeah.
And so then I don't do it all the time. I'm not good at it. I'm not perfect. I failed too many times, and thank God that she's been helping me with it. But I try to make sure that I slow down, especially during like special moments, birthdays and all that. But when I know that I got to run hard, when I know that my schedule is getting ready to really pick up, convocations are coming, or I know I got a couple of things back to back, I try to make sure that I love on them so hard that week before that it kind of gives me some money in the bank, quote unquote, to make the withdrawals, to be away for 2 weeks, to be away for a week and a half, to be away 3 days in a row, coming back in for a day, going back out. I put in enough time so that I can kind of withdraw some of that as I move and as I go. And so, yeah, I mean, all of that. I mean, that part even about balance. Where'd you get that from? I was sitting there thinking, dog, that's good. That there's really no such thing as equal balance. That it's just kind of what's kind of moving at that moment, and you just kind of make sure it's there. Just always make sure that your family is not always at the bottom of the balance. Yeah. They can't stay at the bottom. They have to come up, and some of the other things just has to kind of just gonna have to let it go, and God will fulfill what needs to be fulfilled on the back end. All right. Thank you for that question, Dr. Joe. That was a very good question. Mm-hmm. That's not just for people. That's not just for preachers. That's for business owners, for boss ladies. We got some bosses up on this live, and in our church. I mean, they just go get it. And so I think that's a lesson for everybody, that we're not just talking about preaching schedules. Joe is a sound tech. So and then he's a good one. So then he gets called all over the world. So we're talking about you doing the thing you're gifted at doing, but making sure that you don't overdo that. And you end up being a phenomenal that, but a horrible this. I tell people all the time in the preaching arena, don't tell me how well you preach until you show me how well you parent, right? You're not parenting that well. I could care less about how you preach. You're a good hooper, but you're a horrible husband. No, those two don't match. You got a mega ministry and a storefront marriage. So then that means you got to kind of work more on the other thing and stop promoting the thing that you're very, very good at. And if you're that good at it, it'll be there when you get back.
Yes, sir.
By the way, yeah, it'll be there when you get back. All right. Hopefully we answered that, Dr. Joe. If not, you can inbox us or text us or whatever and say, man, y'all ain't answered that question. but I feel like my wife did a really, really good job with that. Here's another one from Marshall. I forgot how to say her first name. How you say her first name?
Who's that? Kalia.
Kalia. Hopefully you're watching, Kalia. This is your question from last week. Kalia, you got it, man. Thank God, Joe. Appreciate you. Kalia Marshall last week says, what are some ways to handle public criticism? All right. Yeah. Obviously this is something that's been going on for a minute. Well, I know it is, but I mean, I think it's on people's mind a lot, this public criticism thing. Let me tell you why public criticism probably now is more prevalent than before. Social media. Yeah. Social media has made people more conscientious of themselves than ever before. And by the way, social media has also created a whole bunch of pencil pimps. A whole bunch of yeah, you can write stuff, but you can't back it up. You are social media checks that your butt can't cash, right? You write checks your butt can't cash. You are a multimedia bully, but but can't back up your bullying. It gives people the right. And, you know, some folk feel like they have the liberty to come for you because it's out there when they don't even know you, number one. And so that social media plays a major role.
It gives people a chance. That screen is there for a reason because it hides a lot. You have people with fake pages. My husband knows. I think there's somebody who I have a fake page or fake something, you know, brought against me probably every month, at least twice a month sometimes. But it serves no purpose for me defending myself to a fake person on Facebook. I mean, it's crazy. So you're never, and I don't care how good you are, how bad you are, it doesn't matter. Someone's always gonna have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna always have something to say. Sometimes the best way to defend yourself is just by silence because you have nothing to defend. An empty wagon makes a whole lot of noise.
Listen.
And that's just what it is. I mean, and negativity and drama sells. You can have on the cutest outfit.
Say that again. Say that part again.
Negativity and drama sells.
Yeah.
You can have on the cutest outfit. You can pass 25 people that tell you how cute you look. You pass that one person that says something about your top, and the only person you think about that entire day is that one person that says something negative. Negativity speaks volumes, and that's only because that's what we're driven by. If you had half as many people talking positive as coronavirus, for instance, we talk about the number of deaths every single day. The death toll is what it's called. But do you ever see the survival rate going up? No, it's the drama. If you take the number that they give you, look at the numbers versus percentage. They don't ever compare that. You can have 100 people. And 3 of them die. Well, it's out of these 100 people, and I'm not taking death lightly. That's not what I'm doing. My part is to shine light on the negativity that people bring. You have 100, you talk about the 3 people, but you don't talk about the 70% that survive or the 70% that are, you know, improving or recovering. Drama is what sells. And the more you draw into it and the more you feed into it, the more you get. And then you have to watch who you hang around. If drama and negativity is all you're drawing, then you need to watch who you hang with. And if those people, and it's still not your company, then maybe some of that stuff is what you don't need. Sometimes, even if it is social media, taking a break from social media, period. There could be times when your life is boring, but the drama that's going on social media is just too much. And that stuff is feeding into you. So sometimes you have to just take a break from it, period.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's not so much what people say about you. It's more what you say about yourself. And if I begin to parakeet what someone else says, then I'm only becoming or putting my destiny and my life in the hands of an imperfect person. And so I can't be a parakeet. I can't repeat what they say. So it's not what they say that matters. It's what I say that matters. And so my wife said it, I mean, just so perfectly. How do you handle that criticism? Sometimes say nothing at all. You have to think about it. The hunter only shoots at the deer they can see. You understand that? I'm talking like she listen. Hopefully you are listening.
You wait for it. Yeah, Bishop.
Right. I wait for her to say, yeah, that's right. The hunter only shoots for deer that they see. So the deer that are hidden, the hunter doesn't shoot at. That's wasting bullets. The deer that shows up is the one that they shoot at. Usually people are shooting at us because we are the ones that's seen. Now I'm not saying so don't be seen. That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is when we're kind of leader and leadership material, well, you couldn't hide even if it was behind a brick wall. They're still going to see you. And so that just another preacher said something like this to me, that the biggest trees have the most sticks inside them, not limbs, but sticks. The biggest pecan trees have the most sticks inside them. Why? Because people are always throwing sticks up in that tree to get the pecans. They know that there's something special about you, so they're going to keep throwing things at you to
Thinking
get
you
what
a
you
nut.
have out, right? Right? They're trying to get all of you so stupid. They're trying to get all of what you are out of your tree. And so, yeah, it only speaks to your ability to be special, not anything else. And so take it as, man, I must be more special than they thought. Last point, then I'm gonna let this go. What does Bishop Jake said this better than me, but I think it, with a little brown gravy, we can make it sense. Why in the world is a giraffe concerned with a frog? A giraffe is so tall, the frogs that's down by their ankles is nothing more than gnats. So don't take your time. And oh, by the way, when a giraffe leans its head down, it cannot hold its head down but for so long, because most of its muscle weight and body is within its neck and its head, that when it leans down, all of the blood and things start rushing towards its head, and then it ends up, if it stays down there too long, dying. So here I am getting ready to kill myself for a frog that all I got to do is step on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a more logical reason, I mean, in order for you to know the giraffe is around, you have to see it. You can hear frogs.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see a whole bunch of giraffes. All you hear is a bunch of ribbit with frogs, especially when it's messy.
Yeah.
Because now that it's raining outside, you open the door, all you hear are frogs. When it's a bright sunny day, you don't hear frogs.
Right.
Only around mess.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what they are.
So let the frog keep eating flies, and you keep your head up and handle and eat the top of the tree. You keep eating off of stuff that the frog only wish it could have. All it'll ever have is flies. You at least get the top of the tree. So pay no attention to all of these rivets.
That's right.
Near your ankle.
Messy.
Thump it away, and you keep on walking tall, or just pay them no mind at all. Because after a while, they'll get hungry enough to go find something else to consume. Yeah, trash can fires burn out after a while. So after a minute, you don't even have to worry about them. They're gonna leave on their own. Yeah. They said you're doing it, baby. Listen, I'm like that too. Listen, right? Kill it. Thump away. That's exactly right.
Thump it away.
Mm-hmm. Keep your head up no matter what. Mm-hmm. And every time you give the frog attention, you're risking passing out yourself. Wait a minute. Did you hear what I said? I said, every time you give the frog attention, you have the potential to pass out yourself. So you got to think about it. Are they even worth my time? Is that worth me having the possibility of passing out? No. So forget them. That's Pastor Witherspoon from New Jersey, I believe. God bless you, Pastor Witherspoon. So glad to have you on our live tonight. All right. So that was her question. Is there another question out there? Yeah, frogs are too low for me to deal with. Yeah. Quiet Lioness. She says we're really teaching. All right. Yep. Don't you give frog no more attention. Don't you give frogs no more attention. I think the more we begin to understand that you're fearfully and wonderfully made, then it doesn't matter what the rest of them say. There's a uniqueness about you that no one else has. There's a song that I listen to. Don't judge me, but there's a song that I listen to, and it says, you trying to figure out what song I'm saying?
Oh no, I know you.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna see. Go ahead.
Yeah. She messed my whole thought up. But there's a song that I listen to.
I know him.
Yeah, don't judge me. And the woman says, I'm not the average girl from the video. I forget all the words, but But
My
the
body's not
central
built like a
thought,
supermodel.
my body's not built like a supermodel. Yeah. So she goes on and on and on
But I
about,
learned to love myself.
but I learned to love myself unconditionally because I am a queen.
Mhm.
Right? I can sing it when she's singing it. Like when she ain't singing it, I can't get
May I
it.
play it for you?
No, don't play it.
Okay.
But she says, I choose how I decide to look. So then if I want stockings, I'll wear stockings. If I want bare legs, I'll wear bare legs. That I'm not going to acquiesce to what other people think that I should do for me.
That's right.
This is what I think I should do for me. I like nappy hair. So I'm going to have nappy hair.
Listen,
I like a bald head. So I'm going to have a bald
I
head.
don't like it when I'm struggling.
If you're pleasantly plump and you're cool with that, stay pleasantly plump. You don't have to lose weight for anybody. If you happy with it, man, listen. Let it roll. Yeah, let the jelly roll.
All that buoyancy.
Yeah, that's buoyancy. See, I've been a big guy all my life. I don't think I've ever been skinny. I was born fat, and I haven't gone back since. I'm still overweight. You see what I'm saying? So I've never been skinny. Now I lose weight or attempt to lose weight now for health reasons, but not because I feel like I need to lose weight for anybody's, whatever. To tell you the honest God truth, it was my weight that caught her attention. She liked the chubby kid. I shocked me, but she liked the chubby kid. She was about 95 pounds wet in college, and I was probably about 1,000 pounds. I don't know. I wasn't quite that big, but I was a bigger kid. What got her attention was my chubbiness, my chubby cuteness. And so then it became the hook for her, one of the hooks for her. So what if I decided to try to lose weight for somebody else? I'd have missed her because she'd have been like, you just, when it's cold outside, girl, who are you holding? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm back. I'm really back. So she wanted warmth when she was cold. So be all of you, girls. You don't have to do all those things to your body. If your butt is flat, let it stay flat. Somebody like flat butts. Seriously.
So what's your song for that?
The butterfly, that's, I don't know, whatever. But if that's what they like, that's what I like. That's what I like. You can't, that's what I like. I mean, but if your butt is big, don't try to take it away. I mean, it is what it is. Right. So be that. Be all of that. Don't try to augment your breasts listen, if you're going to keep changing your body based upon what's in and what's out, you're going to be Mr. and Mrs. Frankenstein. Forget that. Whatever you are, love all of what you are, put all of what you are out there, and to Hades with anybody who decides to say that they don't like that about you. If you don't like it, you ain't got to look at it. You see, just look somewhere else. Nobody said that you had to train your eyes on me. And so be happy with you. Be happy with you and be happy with you in God. You understand? Be happy and then be happy with you in God. And then the rest will be whatever. All right.
All right.
She said, my oldest, what she said? Yeah, I mean, listen, do it for health. Don't do it because you feel like it's going to please the people who are looking. They'll never be happy. Listen, skinny people want to be fat. Fat people want to be skinny. Brown people want to be white. White people want to be brown. Bald head people want hair. People with hair want to go bald. Just be happy with what you got and make that work for you. Okay? Make that work for you. So I said full figured. Oh, that's my sister. Yeah, full figured. If you're full figured, be full. If you're half figured, be half. If you're no figured, be no. they'll love your mind. I mean, it don't matter. Whatever the case may be that and be happy with it. And don't let their criticism cause you to shrink who you are.
That's good.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you had another question. Yeah, because
I thought so.
Because they're gonna shrink you. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm just buzzing over here.
We got buzzing going on. All right. So yeah, any other question, and we're gonna let it go.
That's it.
Okay, good. So I think we're basically done. If there's no other question out there, not unless you got any closing thoughts, we'll all, she and I'll give a quick closing thought and let you all go for the rest of the night. Yeah, she keep acting like she ain't got nothing to say.
I don't. I'm good.
Yeah, she always has something to say. Today we had a conversation with some college kids, SOT college kids, and that was almost the flavor of one of the questions, one of the things we talked about then, that trying to fit in and get the acceptance of people who they didn't even friends with no more. I mean, think about that. What if you do all these changes and you ain't even friends with them no more? Then what does that say?
Yeah.
You see? So don't live your life for them. Live your life for him. Oh, let me say that again. Don't live your life for them.
Live it for him.
Live your life for capital H-I-M, him. Live your life for God. And if you live your life for him, God, then he'll put an attraction agent on you to begin to pull people around your circle that will be beneficial to you and instrumental for you and you for them to go to your next destination. Everybody else in your life,
listen,
can become expendable if they're not a part of your destination or your crew to encourage you. Now, please hear me. I'm not talking about people who challenge you, because there are some people who challenge you and won't tell you what you want to hear. You need them kind of people, by the way. I'm talking about those who are just straight up haters.
yes.
Let them hate. That's what they do. If we're talking haters, but I also want to caution you. I'm going to sound like I'm kind of oxymoronish or contradictory, not oxymoron, but contradictory. Let me also caution you. Don't get into the hater mentality. Don't get into that. Don't get into this, man, I got so many haters out there. Don't get into that. Because you don't have as many haters as you think. Okay. Haters hate against people who have something. Now, if you still trying to make $1 out of 15 cents, you might not have any haters. Okay. You might have folk who don't necessarily like you, but not haters. Okay. Make sure that you don't get into the mentality of being that victim that everybody around you is hating on you, because everybody's not. All right. You don't know everybody like that. Okay. And that one person, usually that is it's just one or two people, and they're louder than anybody else. All right. So everybody's not hating. Everybody's not hating. Everybody don't know you to hate you, and not thinking about you to hate you. But then for the haters that you may have, forget them. Let them give you free press and free advertising, and keep living your life for him. Right? Don't live your life for them. Live your life for him. It's right there at that screen. Okay. All right. That's kind of my spiel.
Bishop summed it up very well.
So if there's no other, she be leaving me out there so bad. So if there's any,
No, you did a good job.
Thank you. If there's no other comment or question out there, then we're going to end for the day. I want you to make sure that you do us a favor. It's our Bible study, Sword of Truth.
Yes, it is.
So that means we are supposed to give an offering. Not supposed to, we want to give an offering. God bless you, Pastor Durant. We absolutely love you too. Thank you for being on. We appreciate and love you. want you to give I want you to give an offering at this time. My wife got her phone up. She's giving her offering. I'll be giving mine in just a moment. I want you to sow a seed tonight. Give your Bible study offering. If you can, put 20 in your hand by way of phone, that is, and go ahead and shoot that offering right now. I think tonight was a good night, and it's a good night to sow a seed. So go ahead and sow your seed tonight and participate in continuing to keep what we have going on going. If tonight was a blessing to you, let us know. If you were blessed tonight by the Q&A, we need to know that. We want to know that, because we don't want to just do things just to do it. We want to do things that's beneficial to the people that we serve. And if something along the lines of this Q&A serves you on Tuesday, let us know. We may be able to do a few more of these. If this is not necessarily serving you, then we're not going to do that. I mean, we'll do something else. Trust me. We could definitely have some other things going on. But I think having a chance to get your questions answered in real time, one, is a blessing, and you get a chance to kind of get to know us. You know, there's so many people now that's watching that may not know Lady Brown, may not know our Christopher Brown. You're getting a chance to see us raw and uncut.
Raw.
Yeah, I don't have a look at my. I need a shave.
Look.
I'm quarantined in the house.
You wait. Look.
I need a shave, and my wife keeps complaining about her hair for some reason. I like it long. I'm back. So yeah. I mean, I ain't got a problem with it long at all. So this is us. I mean, raw and uncut. Thank you, Delana. Delana says she has sown her seed. Thank you.
Bless you, Delana. I'm still proud of you.
Tracy said this is needed. Chad said this was good. Super blessed. Go ahead and do the alphabet, baby.
You're the boss, think.
A, B, C, D.
Stop it.
E, F, G. Go ahead, girl. Okay, she ain't gonna do it, y'all. First lady be singing. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna catch her singing one day. I'm gonna video it, and I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it on live. This girl be up in here singing.
These people will not let me sing.
Yeah, no.
They have issues.
Yeah, no, she can't sing. We won't let her sing.
I try.
Yeah, we're not gonna let her sing. Well, I mean, I don't mind her singing. The kids won't let her sing. Thank you, Tasha. Thank you. We appreciate you sewing. We appreciate you sewing. We appreciate you sewing. All right, so we're gone. This ends our Bible study for the night. We usually try to end when we're meeting in person right at 8 o'clock anyway. And we're right at that 8 o'clock minute. My children, well, my son, he's kept quiet long enough for us to do Bible study. I'm shocked and surprised. Tasha, this teacher was amazing. Thank you, girl. And my daughter, she better be watching Bible study because she told me she'd be watching it while she's doing her other work. That's right, announcements. So announcement time. On tomorrow at 12 noon. Today I did something with the college kids. Tomorrow at 12 noon, I'm going to do a live with high school children. So some high school babies of the Sword of Truth. We're going to have high school shelter in place and spirituality. Yeah, school, shelter, spirituality. We like those S's. High school, shelter in place, spirituality. I got 3 high schoolers that I'm going to pull up on a live. She says, I'm on the TV, sir. All right, baby. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm gonna bring 3 high schoolers on live with me. Now, the college kids killed it. I'm almost scared with my high schoolers. I don't know what they're gonna say, but I want you all to join me on my page on tomorrow at 12 noon. Have lunch with myself and 3 bright, vibrant high schoolers as they talk about these topics: high school, sheltered in place, and spirituality. Ain't no telling what's going to happen. I believe it's going to be a good conversation. Join us 12 noon on tomorrow. Saturday, guys. Saturday, it's our anniversary. We are celebrating 13 years, guys.
Yes.
13 years of serving our community. The Sword of Truth turns 13. If you've not already done it, go to the Sword of Truth celebrates 13 years of serving. Ask to join that page because we're going to have a celebration within that page. It's going to be big. So we want to make sure that all our family and friends are there to help us celebrate. I didn't want to do it on Facebook Live because I wanted everybody who wanted to be there to be there. 7 o'clock on Saturday, join us for the Sword of Truth celebrates 13 years. Man, it's going to be big. And then also, if you are a married couple, you saw the commercial earlier, you need to go ahead and email us. It's the lovethinggroup@gmail.com and get on that 10-week marriage program. It's incredible. For a nominal fee every week, you'll get an hour-long video that'll help develop you. Yeah, I think you need to watch it there, Elder Anthony, because yeah, your Wi-Fi got demons in it. Something's wrong with your Wi-Fi. All right. Having said that, hopefully you've already sown. Did they sow? Are you watching them? Did they do it?
That's what I was trying to say, that I did it.
You did it. All right. So First Lady said she sold hers. I'll be sowing mine. Some of you have sold yours.
There it is.
Yeah. So all of you, make sure you've sown. And
Is it on there?
Yeah. Yeah. First Lady was surfing while I was talking. You see how it tells on it right there. 7:49. She on Facebook.
Yeah. What time is it, everybody?
And we in Bible study. You see how the devil use people? How you on Facebook and we in Bible study?
Because Bible study is on Facebook.
Right. So listen. I love y'all. We could play. I mean, we could play all night and indulge you all night. Have a good rest of your night. Meet me at 12 tomorrow.
What you doing tomorrow? Just joking.
12 tomorrow. I'm also. I got to preach tomorrow evening at 7 for Bishop Bobby Hilton. So join me on the Word.
Yes, everybody.
Deliverance International page. I'll be there with Bishop Bobby Hilton in Cincinnati. So I'll be in Cincinnati from Florence. How about that? You can't beat this internet stuff. We going for the night. Let's pray for you first, and then we'll end this broadcast. Father, I thank you for every person.
Yes, God.
Who's joined us tonight. I thank you for every question, and Lord, I thank you for every answer. And we ask that you add grace to the answers that we did not answer to the fullest. Add to it that it might be better for them. Don't let our inability be their deficiency. So fill in every gap. I thank you for it and I honor you for it. Father, bless every seed that was sown tonight, that it might bring increase into their house. We love you for it and we thank you for it. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Love you, Sword of Truth.
Amen.
Love your family and friends. Until next time, this is Bishop R. Christopher Brown III, Lady Trina Brown, and we are signing out.
Good night.